All due respect, and like I said, I don't have anything personal against this court. I'm not a corporation, right? I'm a natural person. Where is the body of the crime, Judge? You went to law school, you're a practitioner.
I don't know because I haven't heard testimony.
The rudest sovereign citizen just walked into the courtroom, and calm was definitely not part of the plan. From the moment he arrived, he wouldn't stop talking, interrupting everything and everyone. The reason he's even there is because he honestly believed he could drive without a license, as if the law simply didn't apply to him. What really surprised me in this case was the judge's reaction. The way she handled the situation caught me completely off guard. I genuinely didn't expect her to respond the way she did. It was firm, controlled, and very telling. I'll let you decide how you feel about it because I don't want to give too much away. Let's jump in and watch how this courtroom exchange unfolds. And once you've seen it, let me know your thoughts in the comments. This one definitely leaves an impression.
All due respect, and like I said, I don't have anything personal against this court or anything. I just request that this court adhere to the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution and hold that these state statutes in which they have me charged with are constitutional based on the U.S. Supreme Court. And what is the case? The Cheney versus Winnebago Department of Social Services, there was a young child whom the mother alleges that the father was beating the child, and the child died. The mother sued all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court held that no matter how bad or gruesome that this case was, when it concerned the case, that the states have no duty to protect citizens from other citizens. Anything that compels performance, there has to be a contract. And again, I reserve my rights under UCC 1-308 and the common law UCC 1-103.6. And it's clear, Your Honor. And I ask that this court, do their sworn fulfill their sworn oath under the Michigan rules, the Michigan Judicial Code of Conduct. The court is not to be swayed by public opinion or what the people may think or whatever it may be. Like the great honorable Judge Dalton A. Robes. So every government is entitled to a Republican form of government, not a corporate. I'm not a corporation, right? I'm a natural person. The case law clearly breaks everything down, which everyone is in default. I just ask that this court dismiss this case at this juncture. If the court does not, I demand under the supremacy clause, the subpoena power of this court, to have Kim Worthy brought in so we can have an evidentiary hearing. Because how can a criminal prosecute or allege that I'm a criminal when they're committing all the crimes, Judge? Since I've been home, I've been making reports of police and other things, violations of law against me at the precinct. And no one listens to me. They just ignore me. But when people call and say, well, hey, Mr. McCray did this, Mr. McCray did that, they come, then it's found out nothing happened.
Under our state constitution, this court has jurisdiction. Furthermore, as far as discovery goes, I personally sent Mr. McCrary twice, and I have the emails, copies of the emails to show that that's necessary. Dates are not on here. May 24th, which was last week, and May 5th.
Look at this sovereign citizen shaking his head like he didn't just delete those emails the prosecutor sent him a few days ago. He's so committed to his story at this point that he won't back down, no matter how obvious the truth is. Honestly, the confidence alone is almost impressive, even though it's clear he's not being honest. He sounds completely unreasonable, but he just refuses to give in. The level of denial here is something else. Still, I'll say this, he truly believes what he's saying, and that kind of commitment is something you see a lot with sovereign citizens. They'll argue their position no matter how many times it's proven wrong. Even when the judge lays everything out clearly and everyone in the room understands what's happening, they still won't budge. It's like they believe that if they reject reality hard enough, the law will somehow stop applying to them. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work that way. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you respect the commitment, or do you see this as a complete refusal to accept reality?
I don't know. I'll give you can, it's gonna take a couple seconds. One of those emails, he is Michigan in there.
That's not my fault. They violate your order.
Okay. So you believe he should have received one of them,
Nothing.
Right.
and neither one of them came back as a bad email.
Okay. All right, so Mr. McCurry, I don't know why you're not receiving discovery, you did not receive it.
He didn't send, can we subpoena Google and,
No,
litigate this and
This
show that
is
he
not,
hasn't
this
sent
is not a
anything?
trial, this is not an evidentiary hearing.
Well, can I say one more thing?
After we get done today, confirm your email address, you can send a test email to make sure that he received it.
Well, he did. It showed me that he got my paperwork. He admitted in the last receipt that he received my
Okay,
paperwork.
and
So why would he send it? Well, not, why wouldn't I get it back? My email is legit. It's my phone right here.
okay,
Also a jurisdictional challenge.
let's, before we get to that, AJ intercepted, you want to respond before we read?
Yes, Your Honor, I do want to make a record. You know, this defendant has already availed himself to the jurisdiction of the courts of the state by admitting to having a driver's license. And also further add that the 10th Amendment has allotted and given police powers to the states, which then allows the state to create criminal laws under which this defendant must avail himself to. I further add that, again, as the court has acknowledged, that this defendant has at least once received the discovery to his emails, to his correct email. So any more allegations of not receiving discovery would be improper, given that we have it at least proven that he has it at least once. And there have been no additions or corrections since the discovery was done the first time.
Okay,
May I
Mr.
respond?
McCurry, I'm gonna wrap this up, you can respond and.
Yeah, just briefly if I may.
Sure.
Well, this young lady here to basically
Mr. Sessions,
respond, Mr. Sessions, to respond to her statements in Michigan. They're locking people up for not having a driver's license. I was compelled.
there are people getting
But I
locked up
reserve my
for
rights. This was the
murdering
law.
people as well.
Pardon?
People getting locked up for murder as well.
Well, I understand that, but what I'm saying is the corpus delicti, they're going off written statements. You know the corpus delicti rule under the Michigan Supreme Court case, as well as the federal court case. Where's the body of a crime? They're saying ammunition, all this, that. Where's the guns at? Where's the victim at? Strangulation, where's all this? Where's the medical
I wouldn't
reports?
know because we haven't
And
had an
then,
exam.
okay, but no, jurisdiction, once it's challenged, it must be proven by the people. This is state and federal law, from the Michigan court.
I honestly can't tell what's going on with this guy. I'm not sure if he's deliberately trying to drag the case out or if he truly believes what he's saying. It might be a bit of both, but it's genuinely hard to tell. At first, it comes across as confusion, but the longer it goes on, the more calculated it starts to feel. What's throwing me off is that he's oddly good at talking. That doesn't mean he's right, of course, but it's different from what we usually see. Most sovereign citizens are loud, disruptive, and completely incoherent. This guy, on the other hand, is calmly citing laws that don't even apply to this situation, which almost makes it sound convincing, until you really listen. The moment that really stood out was when he claimed there was no victim and no weapon. That argument doesn't even make sense at this stage of the case. The prosecutor clearly has evidence, and everyone in the room knows it. We've all seen it.at this point. It feels like he just wants to keep talking. He keeps interrupting the judge, slowing everything down, and refusing to let the process move forward. Honestly, it's starting to seem like he just enjoys hearing his own voice.
So I'm demanding that I mean, they're already in default, but still again, I'm demanding jurisdiction be challenged, personal subject matter and territorial jurisdiction. Even when I was in prison, I had interactions with Kim Worthy, chief prosecuting officer for the state, and I reserved my rights then in prior proceedings, as well as I was compelled to obtain a driver's license. And I reserve my rights. That's all the law mandates, that I reserve my rights, which I have done. And right now, this lady, Mrs. Prosecutor, I can't remember her name, and Mrs. Sisson, Esquire Sisson, and this gentleman here, they're in conspiracy and violate federal and state law. They're committing crimes, and I demand that their oath of office, their law, their license to practice law, amongst other things, be given to me, as well as their bond, as well as you, Judge, Your Honor. Also, like I say, jurisdiction has been challenged, and they have to prove it first based on the case law, which I have noted in this paperwork. They can't get around that. We can say, well, yeah, they're talking about reserving rights and all that. Okay, but still the law from the state Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, and federal jurisdictions clearly mandates that once jurisdiction is challenged, the person asserting jurisdiction has to prove it. And all they have is statements. Under the corpus delicti rule, out-of-court statements is not evidence, so these charges should be dismissed. Where is the body of the crime, Judge? You went to law school, you're a practitioner.
I don't know because I haven't heard testimony, no.
Well, that's not how it works with jurisdictional
That's
charges.
how, you know, that way. So, do you have any last?
Well, I would like,
Statements, because I'm ready.
okay, I would like to challenge jurisdiction again, which I have done from the onset of this case, personal, subject matter and territorial jurisdiction. State and federal case law is clear, in which this court being inferior to the higher courts must adhere to their oath of office, their bond, and so on and so forth, their license to practice law and the Michigan rules of code of judicial conduct, and must compel the people to prove jurisdiction, which they're asserting. Where's the proof? You have to show this court. That's at any stage of the proceeding, the law allows.
Okay. So on discovery, I saw paperwork confirming the email address that you provided to the court is now the record, that discovery was sent. I'm not sure if it was an email, please tell me if there's another email you would like to be sent to, I will ask the prosecutor to do so. 2, for requesting license numbers from everyone. My name is right here in front of you. You can go right on State
I ain't
Bar.
saying nothing.
RP numbers are available for you to look up as they are for any general folks, okay? As far as venue, jurisdiction, and you mentioned this, you don't know whether I was appointed or elected, I was vote.
This right here is exactly why the court system feels so broken sometimes. It's already a slow process by design, but people like this make it even worse by wasting time on arguments that don't matter. Just imagine being a real victim, waiting for your case to be heard, while the judge has to stop everything to deal with someone arguing over made-up legal theories. The law honestly couldn't be simpler. If you drive, you need a license. That's it. Yet somehow, this guy believes he's uncovered some secret loophole that lets him ignore basic rules. It doesn't make sense, no matter how many times you hear it. What really stands out to me is the confidence. They can be completely wrong and still argue like they are winning. They ignore real laws, push false ideas, and somehow convince themselves they are coming out ahead, when in reality, they are only making things worse for themselves. And the wildest part is that this approach never works. Not once. Still, you'll see others cheering them on afterward, acting like they accomplished something impressive in court. It almost feels like they are setting themselves up for more trouble instead of trying to fix the situation. So my question for you is this: do you think these people truly believe what they are saying, or are they just trying to game the system? I feel like some genuinely buy into it, while others are simply hoping to avoid responsibility. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Take care.